Good afternoon from the KUOW newsroom. This is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning with a roundup of today's top stories, starting with the latest on last night's shooting at the Bite of Seattle at Seattle Center. It's Monday, July 27th. We have learned the names of the people killed in a mass shooting last night at the Bite of Seattle festival. 56-year-old Ashley Whitehead, 44-year-old Carlos Israel Sanchez Villalba, and 19-year-old Junior C. Nico Simo. Charging documents say there were 3 shooters, and one is likely among the deceased. Today in juvenile court, prosecutors outlined the initial case against another one of the alleged shooters, a 15-year-old suspected of firing into a crowd at Seattle Center on Sunday. Amy Radel reports.
The shootout left 3 people dead and 5 more injured. A 15-year-old accused of taking part waived his right to appear in juvenile court Monday. His mother and father attended the hearing virtually. The teenager was arrested on suspicion of 3 counts of assault in the first degree for 3 of the shooting victims who were injured, including a 2-year-old who's still hospitalized. Court documents allege that one of the shooting victims was a participant and died after being detained. Seattle police are looking for another unknown suspect as well. Amy Radel, KUOW News.
Seattle police are facing questions about yesterday's mass shooting at Seattle Center. Scott Greenstone has more on that.
Flanked by Seattle's mayor and Washington's governor, Police Chief Sean Barnes fielded media questions about his department's response yesterday. City officials released an incorrect statement to the public and took nearly 5 hours to address the media.
We understand that people are angry. You should be. Everyone should be angry. But with that anger, you should also be asking yourself, what can I do to prevent this?
One suspected shooter is in custody. Barnes asked witnesses to come forward with any information about a second shooter. Then, after the press conference, court documents reviewed by KUOW said police believe there's a third shooter. Barnes hadn't addressed that at all at the press conference and didn't immediately respond to a request for comment from KUOW. Scott Greenstone, KUOW News.
As for the victims, one of the deceased is believed to have been one of the 3 shooters, and 3 people died, of 8 people in total who were shot. Most survivors have been released from medical care, but a 2-year-old who was hit is still at Harborview Medical Center in satisfactory condition. Numerous eyewitnesses are speaking out and recounting the horrors of last night.
Everyone was running through the tents and everything. People were falling, stomping on each other.
That was Estan Wakanabo, one of the thousands who attended the Bite of Seattle. Another witness, Jessica Allison, was there with her child and husband.
He's like, run! We had to run. We hid behind the concert stage. And we just basically just sat there behind there and waited for non-believers to clear out. We just didn't know what to do. It's absolute stampede.
Police are now asking people to call 206-233-5000 if you have information that could help investigators. Today, federal investigators interviewed the pilot of the Kenmore Air seaplane that crashed in the San Juan Islands last week. A representative with the NTSB told the Seattle Times they may release some preliminary findings within the next 2 weeks or so. The seaplane crashed near Susha Island last Thursday. All people on board survived, and bystanders helped them get off the plane before it burst into flames. Kenmore Air suspended all of its flights the following day, but resumed them over the weekend. An update on one of Idaho's most high-profile murder cases. Brian Kohberger, who was convicted last year of murdering 4 University of Idaho students, is seeking to abandon his guilty plea and obtain a trial. In an interview with the New York Times, Kohberger said he's filed a petition challenging his conviction. He's currently serving 4 consecutive life sentences. He told the Times he has an absolute claim of innocence. Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador said in a statement that his office stands ready to do whatever is necessary to carry out justice. Seattle police are still looking for 2 men who recently parachuted from the Space Needle. That was the reaction from onlookers as one person in the crowd recorded video of the pair climbing over the glass barrier of the observation deck Friday night. Each of them had a camera attached to their helmets, but no video from their 520-foot-high jump has surfaced online just yet. Seattle police say the men are facing trespassing charges. In environment and health, Port Townsend is asking residents, businesses, and industrial water users to voluntarily conserve water. Dry conditions have pushed the city to begin drawing down Lords Lake Reservoir weeks earlier than normal. The city relies on the Big and Little Quilcene rivers for drinking water, with Lords Lake utilized when late summer stream flows are low. Federal researchers say there is an 80% chance of a very strong El Niño weather pattern by this fall. John Ryan reports on one surprising impact it could have here.
For the Pacific Northwest, El Niño boosts the odds of a warm, dry winter, a meager snowpack, and bad wildfires. It also boosts ocean temperatures. When seawater, or any liquid, gets warmer, it expands. That's why climate change has been raising sea levels. A big El Niño can swell the ocean enough to raise sea level by about a foot. That means flood-prone coastal areas could have a rough winter. Congresswoman Emily Randall is urging the Trump administration to speed up its long-delayed funding to help cities near Grace Harbor with their flood defenses. A federal judge in December ordered the administration to restore that funding. Randall says Aberdeen and Hoquiam have waited long enough, with more than 2,000 properties at risk of flooding. John Ryan, KUOW News.
A final note tonight, if you're a Costco shopper, check your inbox. The Seattle Times reports some Washington Costco shoppers received an email last week saying they may qualify for a cash payment. The Issaquah-based retailer agreed to a $14 million settlement last month over a statewide class action lawsuit. The plaintiffs allege Costco emails had advertised temporary promotions, despite Costco knowing the promotions were not temporary. The company denies it, but settled to avoid continuing litigation. Next time on Seattle Now, more on what we know about Sunday's shooting at the Bite of Seattle. Hear that Tuesday morning. But before we let you go, we do have a question for you. This week on the show, we're asking our listeners, the Blue Angels have been doing flyovers in Seattle since 1972. What do you think of this annual seafair tradition? Share your answer in the KUOW app. Just open up the menu and select Talk to Us. More at KUOW.org/question. That's all for today from the KUOW newsroom in Seattle. Our producer's Vaughn Jones, and I'm Paige Browning. It is only Monday and a very hard week in Seattle so far. Thanks so much for tuning in with us. We'll keep you updated. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. We'll see you later.